I was a musician.
Rock star.
I have no background in sales, zero background in gutters, no background in business. I was a touring musician right up until I was about 32 years old, 33 years old. That's what I spent my whole focus on. You know, I was very fortunate. I was able to tour internationally, record in some killer studios, meet some great people. That all came to an end as soon as I decided to have kids.
Tell me about it.
So I got out of touring and got into racing motorcycles, oddly enough, because that's what you do when you're going to start a family, apparently. I did that regionally. I competed regionally for a while doing that. Did well with that. Was able to get some titles on a small scale until I got hurt. And that wiped that one out. So now I'm moving down the line like, all right, I'm running out of shit to do here. Got into cars. I've been doing that. You know, I've talked to a bunch of you guys that are car guys as well about that. That's been my big passion, and I'm still doing that today, and can plan on continuing that for quite a while, actually. So, but my story here starts as soon as I got off the road. I stepped away from music for a while. I was completely burnt out. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't know what else to do though. That's all I'd ever done my whole life. I owned a music store. I used to teach. I used to tour. I used to record. I had no other way of making money. I had no other skills. So I was teaching out of the side, on the side out of my house, and I get a call from a guy that Ryan and Ken know named Matt Mason, bass player I knew from years ago. He reached out. He said, "Listen, I got a buddy whose son wants to learn." He called me and he asked me if I would teach him, and I don't have the time. So I'm like, "Yeah, send him my way." So into my life walks Ken Parsons. We get talking. He would come to the house once a week, hang out for an hour. I would teach Hunter. That's what the middle photo is there, when Hunter was a little guy. And I got friendly with Ken, just got talking with him. I didn't realize that over the 6 to 8 month period, Ken was recruiting me. He kept talking to me about stuff, asking me questions, and I was running a supply yard at that point, which was struggling. You know, it was a family-owned business, and there was a lot of pain there. So I was not happy. I was miserable at home, and Ken saw that. So he started planting the seeds, and I'd see him at home shows. And I remember going to the first home show going, who are these goofy guys on the side of this picture holding up a gutter, you know? And that was before the cartoon characters. So I'd see their presence there. I'm like, oh, it's impressive. You know, I'd see the other gutter companies, and I'd see their setup. I'm like, wow. So fast forward, Ken approaches me at one point. He says, hey, we're looking for a solutionist. I'm like, okay, if I find one, I'll let you know. But what's a solutionist? So then he kind of runs me through it. I'm like, no, I don't do sales. He's like, I don't want a salesperson. I'm like, okay, then what are you looking for? So we started talking a little bit, and I wasn't interested. Like I said, I had zero faith in myself. I had no background in sales. I had no background in construction as far as gutters and stuff like that. But he kept pushing, and then he asked me to come to the office one day. He goes, we're going to have a company, I think it wasn't a first quarter meeting, but it was a company meeting. So I said, all right, I'll take a ride up, purely out of respect for Ken. So I took time off of work, and I'm driving up 82, and all I could think is, I'm never going to get this hour back. This is an hour lost. I'm going to a gutter company. What am I going to do here? So I walked in, and within 5 minutes, I was just in awe. And this was the old location. This is not what you see here. Even the old location was impressive for a gutter company. This is impressive for any kind of company. So fast forward, we get through the hour and a half, I meet all these people, walk out, I get in my car, I'm driving home, and I remember calling my wife, and she's like, oh, how was that? I'm like, amazing. I have to get this job. And she's like, really? You don't do sales, you know, this is not you. I'm like, I don't care, I gotta figure this out. So they offered me the job, I took it, they gave me my first year's goal, and I went, well, this will last till December, and then I'm out of here. So, but with everything that they teach you here, all the guidance, and I know you guys have seen this with all the training you've gone through, they give you everything you need to succeed. It's all handed to you, it's right in front of you. If you're gonna grab it, you're gonna succeed. So, even with that being said, first full year comes around, they give me my new goal. I'm like, holy crap. All right, I'll get to December at least this year then. And it kept going like that until I started realizing, you know what? They have this figured out. They're not just pulling numbers out of the air and throwing them at you. This is figured out to, you know, to the detail. They know exactly where you need to be and what you need to get there. So once I started getting confidence in that, then it was no holds barred. Everything took off. When I started, it was a little rough. We had 2 sales guys here before me that didn't get the culture that we have here now. They didn't even come close to it. And the problem was that crap rolls downhill, I was at the bottom of the hill. So these guys were taking all the good jobs, so I was left with what was left over. You know, and I remember talking to Ken about it, and he's like, just keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And I did. I listened to everything he said, I followed everything they told me to do. Even some of it that I'm like, really? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? But I just said, you know what, if I'm gonna do this, I'm buying in 100% all in. It worked. So basically what I'm getting at is, when I started here, I started at the bottom of the department I was in. You know, I had two guys that made sure that I knew I was at the bottom of the department I was in. I didn't have the luxury that you guys have, a killer department for production. You got so much support and so much, you know, you can lean on each other. I didn't have that, but I had the support of Job, of Gabby, of Ryan, of Ken. Back then it was Mary Ann. So I lent on that. At the end of the day, doing all that, you're able to walk through this company and move up, and there's so much opportunity and so much to come. So that's kind of my story, you know, the longer than I anticipated version of it, but that's where I came from. And again, like I said, there's so much opportunity here, seize it. You know, do everything you can, follow the lead these guys are giving you, because you can see it works. It definitely works.